I want to talk about color harmony and harmonizing your colors. And let me start off by showing you, I have a couple different pieces that I'm working on, a couple different florals that I started out by picking my color palettes. And let me show you how I picked out my color palette. I'm going to move to my tabletop here, and regular color wheel I've got going on. I chose the colors I wanted because I already had papers laid out on my painting that I wanted to work with, and I loved the papers. And I have this turquoise, and I have this rusty color. I have black and white, and I have some kind of bluish because I started out with a Payne's gray on this. Got my color wheel, and my colors that I'm using as my complementary colors, let me just show you that again, is red, orange, and blue turquoise. They're across from each other on the color wheel. They're complementary colors. I am using as my accent or my spice colors the yellow, orange, and the red, violet. Those are the tertiary, the triad colors that I've chosen. And the way that you get those on your color wheel, you find your complementary color, and all colors that are across each other on the color wheel are complements. But in this case, I'm going with the blue, green, and the red, orange. My split complementary would be if I was using red and orange. If I was using the blue, green, and the orange and the red, then I would be using a split complementary. But what I'm doing is I'm taking my complements and I'm skipping over two in each direction, and that is how I get my spice colors, how I get my accent colors. And that really works well for me, so that's what I'm going to show you. So the colors that I have here, I'm using my red orange. I'm going to use burnt sienna. I have my yellow orange. I'm actually going to use yellow ochre. My red violet, I have red violet, and I have blue turquoise for my blue green. So there's my color wheel. Let me set that aside. And I'm going to first start with a grid that is 4 down and 5 across. And what I want to do is I want to label this grid just to keep myself on track. This is my colors. Whoops. This column is going to be the colors I'm using. This is going to be the harmony of the colors I'm using. This is going to be when I add white. This is going to be when I add black. Now for mixing purposes, I'm going to have my harmony pile here, and that's really all I need. That's kind of all I need to know right there. And I'm actually going to work on 2 of these at once. One is going to be my kind of my worksheet, and the other is going to be the colors that I mix, so that I can take this and I can put it in a 3-ring binder, and you'll see why I would want to do that as we move forward. So first of all, I'm going to put my colors out. Here's my burnt sienna, and I want to make sure that I put enough out that I can have enough to mix all the colors that I'm doing. Here is the yellow ochre. Here is the blue turquoise. And these colors all on their own look really beautiful. And there is the red violet. Now I'm going to take a paintbrush, and I'm going to make sure I have plenty of paper towel on hand to clean my brush off as I go. And I'm going to take a little bit of that red oxide. I'm going to put it over in this corner that is my pile. Let me put a little bit more. And it's always a good idea to wipe your brush off before you put it in the water. Get the paint off your brush so you're not dirtying up your water too fast. Here is the yellow ochre. Here is the blue turquoise. and we've got the red violet. So I've got all those colors over in this little corner, and I'm just gonna mix them up. Now we should end up with kind of course, I'm not giving myself a very big area to mix, but I wanted to give you an idea of doing a, doing these little charts yourself, because you'd be amazed when you take the time to do these little charts, how many colors you can come up with just from the colors that you're using. So this is gonna come out to be kind of a neutral because I've got all those colors mixed together, and probably the red, the burnt sienna and the blue turquoise are gonna neutralize each other out. So that is kind of a yucky color, isn't it? But really not. No colors are yucky. It's a really kind of a muddy, oh, it's actually kind of a pretty gray. So that's my neutralizing color, my neutralized color. Now I'm gonna take a little bit of that and I'm gonna put it in the harmony column right next to my colors. Wipe off my brush, clean it. I'm gonna wanna make sure to clean it each time I go through this so I don't mix the colors up too much. I'm taking my red violet and I'm mixing it in with that neutral. And I might have to grab a little bit more of the neutral because maybe I didn't put enough in. I mean, that is kind of a pretty color. Now this sheet of paper over here, I'm going to use to put my colors down. And I want to grab some of this and put that there. So it really did gray that up quite a bit, but I think I could gray it up just a little bit more. Yeah, I like that. Okay. So I got that. Now let me take some of the turquoise, blue turquoise, and mix it in with that. Let's see what I come up with. And you can kind of like just adjust as you're going along to get to the color you want it to be. And I really like this color. It's dulled down quite a bit from the turquoise, the original turquoise. Let me make sure I have enough of that in there. And take some of the yellow. Might want a little bit more of that. Makes a really pretty olivey green. Oh, that's pretty. I also want to make sure I get a little bit of this over here. And I want to take some of the burnt sienna, mix that in there. Oh, that's really pretty. So look at those colors. How pretty, that is a beautiful palette. This is a beautiful palette. But if you didn't want to go this bright, this would be great. And if you were to, let me find another sheet of paper. Let's say you just did those colors. Think about if you did mostly those colors and then you pulled in this yellow, which is kind of what I'm going to do as my accent color. That works really well. So we've got that. Whoops. Oh, that wasn't very smart. Well, let me see. What can I do about that? I'm just going to set that right down on here. Okay, so we've got those colors. Now we're going to take, and I have on here a little bit of white, and I'm going to take some, whoops, wrong side, white, and I'm going to put that there. Now, here's the tricky part. You have to make sure you mix enough of these colors that you're going to be able to pull it over into the white. So I may have to do a quick little mix up. Make sure I have enough of this. I've got it on my brush, so now I can pull it over here into the white. And that is a really pretty purple color. Bring a little bit of this over into the white. Beautiful. Green, I might have to mix that one up again. I mean, it's a good idea to try to get the mix right and actually get the paint mixed in all the way. I actually like that color. That's really pretty. And then we're going to take this and mix it in. Take a little bit more. Very, very pretty. So there's the lighter version of our color harmony. Now we're going to take black. Again, let me make sure I have enough of this. I think I probably do. And black, you have to be very careful because black can kill a color faster than anything. So I'm taking it from my harmonized color. Let's see, I want more color in there. There we go. It makes a really pretty purpley black. A little black. I don't have much left in here. And I think I probably have just enough to do this with. Touch of black. And we're going to come back over here. I'm not too worried about mixing my colors up on this sheet because this is just my worksheet. I'd like to get kind of a darker, you know, a more opaque version of that, but that is going to have to do. And then we're going to take this. Oh, whoops, I put that in the wrong spot. Let me get that back off there because I don't want that to be quite that dark. Now let's see if I can override that. Now that's pretty close. So out of these 4 colors that we started with, I was able to mix 12 more colors. And look how pretty those are. I don't have to go out and buy tubes of paint for all of those because I already know these 4 colors are going to get me there. So there you go. There's one. I love, love, love these colors. So that's how you harmonize your colors. That is what, look how beautiful that is. And that is going to look really nice, those colors pulled into this painting somehow. And I probably will eliminate the bottom row, the straight colors out of the tube, and look how great that is. I love that. I'm very excited to work on this painting. So that's color harmony. Now, let's move. The next thing I want to work on is I'm going to take another sheet, another graph, and this graph goes 5 across and 7 down. This one went 4 down, 5 across and 4 down. So I'm going to go ahead and steal the turquoise off of here. And 1, 2, 3 on the 4th one. 1, 2, 3, 4. The middle left I'm going to put the turquoise. I'm going to put that right there. And then on across from it, I'm going to put its complement, the burnt sienna. I want to get as much as I can because, again, I want to make sure I'm mixing enough paint. Okay. I think I got most of it. So let me get this out of my way. And I'm going to pull another sheet up to match that one. And I'm going to take, I've got this on my brush, so I don't want to waste it. I'm going to take a big glob of the red, the burnt sienna. Get a clean piece of paper towel. Clean off my brush because I don't want to contaminate this color. Take a nice big glob of the blue turquoise. And in that little tiny square, mix the two together. This might take a minute, but you really want to make sure that you get it mixed. If you want your color chart to be accurate, take the time to get it all mixed in. If you wanted, you could be working this over on another palette. That's typically what I would do, but for the purpose of showing you in class, I'm going to do it this way. So now I've got my neutral color, and it's a really pretty, kind of a dull green. I've got my red oxide over here, and I've got my turquoise over here. So now I know that mixing these two colors is what got me there. So now I want to take enough of this, probably about half of what's there, and put it there. And I want to take about half of what's here and put it there. And mix those two together. See what we come up with. It's a really pretty brown color. And I want to put that right there. Clean my brush. Take the turquoise. And again, you want to make sure you're mixing enough because you see a lot of empty squares here. I think you know where I'm going with this. I'm already going to run out of this color, so I'm going to have to mix more of it. But for right now, we're going to mix the blue turquoise with that middle neutralized color. And it looks like this is more turquoise. This one looks like it's going to be more teal. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Now let me just take one moment and make sure I have enough of this mixed up because I'm going to need more of that. Okay. So now I've got those two colors. Then I've made 3 more colors out of those. Okay, so I'm going back to my white. And to make this go a little faster, I can take my white and go 1, 2, 3. Let me just stair step that up. Oops. I'm going to clean my brush a little bit better. And then I'm going to take a little bit of this. This is just my burnt sienna, and mix it with the white. Look at that pretty color. I'll probably take a little bit more. Then I've already got that color in my brush. I don't want to go back here. I want to stick with this and go to my next white. I might want to add a touch more white to that. Nice fleshy color. And even more white to it. that's better. And that's even nicer. Love it. Okay, paper towel. Wash off my brush really good. And now I'm going to jump over here to the next one. Okay, and I want to take this color and mix that into the white. Ooh, pretty. Maybe a little bit more. Got it on my brush already. I've already got this color on my brush. I'll just jump right up here. So now I'm making some really pretty, nice, warm neutrals. Oh, I think I could probably get that just a touch more white. Okay, now same thing. I'm just going to move right up my chart. Whoops! I'm looking over here knowing I'm doing this wrong. Okay, let's try it again. There we go. No mistakes, it's just paint. Ooh, pretty. That's really pretty. I'm going to take that color and just go right up here again. Get the lighter version. And one more time. Oh, really pretty color. Really, really pretty color. Love that one. Oops. Really pretty. Okay. Gonna need a little bit more white on my messy little lid over here. Okay, I'm gonna go white, white, white. Get it all set up. Clean the white off my brush because I don't want to contaminate this pile. And I could just start mixing that right up. Jump right up there. Add a little bit more white. And I'm just fudging as I go along because I know I want this color to be different than that last color. And if I have to add a little bit more white to make that happen, I will do that. There we go. Love it. Very pretty. And one more to go. And that is the blue turquoise, or the turquoise blue. Take a little bit of that, mix it in. That really brightened it up. Now these two do look pretty close together, but you can see this is a much cooler turquoise and this is a warmer turquoise. So I'm really happy with that palette, how that's working out. Now comes the scary part, and that's black. Black is always the scary part. So black, like I said, will kill a color faster than anything. So we want to use it really sparingly. Let me put my color here and just take a little snippet of black. And start out with just a little bit before I get too carried away. See, that's almost too carried away. that quickly. But maybe not. Let's see. No, that actually looks pretty good. Now I'm going to take a little, and I'm just taking the smallest little amount, adding it there. And I want to bring this color into it. I have to mix a little bit more of it to get where I want to go. This is actually closer to what this is going to be. Yeah, that's better. Really pretty browns. Really warm browns happening there. Now here's another brown. We're going to add this with just a touch of black. That darkened it up just slightly. I think I can do better than that. And I'm just going to work right into this pile because that's the color I have. It's getting darker and even darker still. Now, the nice thing about this is when you end up at this bottom row, everything's going to look black, but they're really beautiful blacks. They're blacks that have color to them. So let's take this guy. We're going to add just a smidge, just a little tiny bit. You can tell I'm being black shy here. Ah, there, that's good. That's a nice, pretty color. Add a little bit more black. Darker still. And when you're getting to the black side of it, sometimes it is kind of good to be a little watercolory because you get the nuance of the color. Okay, this is the color that was actually a little bit more teal-y. I'm going to pull a little bit of that back in there. Just a touch of black to start with. Oh, I love that color. Turquoise was my mom's favorite color. Everything she had was turquoise. The shutters on our house were turquoise when I was growing up as a kid. And it was never one of my favorite colors until I started painting. And now it is definitely a go-to color. And we darken that one up a little bit. And then we can blacken it up a little bit more. Oh, there we go. Okay, one more to go. Just one more, and I'm sure you're getting the routine here of what I'm doing. I'm running out of black is what I'm doing. And I'm just using my black gesso. It's usually the black that I use. There we go, that's better. Take a little bit more. I got a feeling I'm gonna get carried away. Nope, that's pretty good. And now I can get carried away. Okay, so there you go. Out of those two colors, I made 33 more colors. I think I'm doing the math right. 35, squares. 2 of them were already taken, so that's 33. Look at the colors. I mean, they're really fantastic. You know, and you're not going to find most of these colors in a tube anyway. It's going to save you so much money to buy 2 colors and mix all of these yourself. And you can make these 2 colors be anything you want. They don't have to be complementary colors. It always works when they're complementary colors, but they don't necessarily have to be complementary colors. I could have easily done the turquoise and the yellow oxide. I could have done the red violet and the burnt sienna. And because then you just can see how many colors you can get. And if I had time, I would mix all those colors, and I may just mix all those colors on my own to see where they come out. But this is a really great lesson in harmonizing your colors. All of these colors were made from those 4. So remember, those 4 were mixed into this pile. This pile added into each one of those automatically harmonizes them because all those colors are in there, every one of them. And then this just harmonizes because we used complementary colors, and it just looks beautiful. It really works. So now I have got 2 color palettes that work really beautiful. And I have done this color palette a couple of times because it is really my favorite colors. That turquoise and orange, no matter what variation it is, it can be a turquoise or more of a blue turquoise or tealy, and any version of red or orange. I really love that. So you can see how these are going to work really well with this painting, and that's what I wanted to show you today, is color harmony, how to get it. I mixed all of these colors from 2 colors. Just think about that for 1 minute. All of those colors came from just these 2 colors. Just saying, it's the way to go. And not to mention, great way to save paint. If you can make all these colors from those 2, why would you buy all these tubes of paint? There are some pretty yummy paints. When I see them, I'm like, oh, I have to buy that. But I know I can make those colors because I just did that. And I just did that. And you can do that too. So get your paints out. Get a couple sheets. If I can find a way to add these sheets in the description, I will, so that you can copy them out. Maybe I can do that. But this one is 5 across and 4 down. This one is 5 across and 7 down. So there you go. Hope that helps. Hope you do it, and hope you have fun with it. I'll see you next time.